Hi, guys, and welcome back to the Secret Door podcast. My name is Toyo C. I keep trying to say my name right because I'm so used to saying it like the Western way. My name is Toyo C, and yeah, I'm your host for the podcast. I have to ask though, like, what do you guys think about these visuals? Do you like them? Is it working? Is it working? Because I just feel like I'm doing some visuals and I'm doing just some non-visual just so that like if you're watching me on YouTube, you kind of have like, the option to do other stuff while listening to this sultry voice. But then if you're just listening to me on audio, you have like the option to be able to multitask and take in all the juicy gems that I might bring out here and there. But yeah, let's get into today's episode. Oh, why don't we? So I really just wanted to come on. First of all, one big noticeable thing. It looks like I'm bald, but guys, I ain't bald. I just braided my hair, and I know some people might be like, "Oh, why is she coming out looking like that with her natural hair? Like these are supposed to be like your cornrow braids or whatever." But guys, honestly, I'm in my most natural state, and this is me loving me the most and best possible way I can. Like, I love my hair. When I was in Nigeria, this is like the hairstyle that I actually love to do the most. One, it grew my hair like mad, and two, it was just very comfortable for me to just like rock out in Nigeria like that. So I was just kind of like, why do we kind of put this like expectations on ourselves that we can't walk out with our hair like this? This is cute.
Back in my
Like,
bag, yo.
excuse me.
Conscious. ISO. Diamond. Back in my bag and I ain't gotta brag. I do this shit for real.
So, with today's topic and episode, talking about self care is selfish. I know some people might be wondering, like, what do you mean? Because we kind of correlate self care to be like, taking care of yourself, like getting your nails done, getting your hair did, getting your skin, prepped and perm and taken care of, and, working out and taking care of your physical self, and also your internal self as well. Whereas, like maybe just like meditating, doing yoga, eating well, like just kind of the physical things that you can do to yourself is what most people kind of classify as self care. Um, and although all those things are self care and they're very, 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 very important to be able to take care of yourself first, but I think we kind of forget that the biggest self care out of like the whole personal development journey is always making sure you're putting yourself first. In every single aspect, you're putting yourself first. That's why the title is selfish, because people will look at it as, okay, well, that is a bit selfish. Like, you're not caring about anybody else around you. But like I've mentioned in a few other episodes, and I feel like like I am repeating myself quite a bit, is that you can't take care of someone else if you're not taking care of yourself first. Like, you literally cannot, like when you're on the plane, I've already said this before, and the air host and air hostess are going through what happens in the worst case scenario. They tell you to put your airbag mask thing on first before you go ahead and put it on your baby. And that is not to say that you can't care and love for your baby first, but there's no way you can care for someone else first if you're not physically, emotionally, mentally in that place to take care of them. You have to make sure you're good. Like, I have to make sure I'm good first so I can take care of somebody else. And it as much as it sounds selfish, it's not. Because at the end of the day, I can't support you if I can't support myself. I can't help you if I can't help myself. And if it's a thing where, a lot of people are very generous, there are a lot of people that are extremely generous, a lot of people that, you know, um, they don't necessarily look so generous, or they might be classified as not being so generous because maybe they just don't talk about the generous things they do like in the limelight and stuff. They didn't get to a lot of these like celebrities that we like to. I'm not even gonna say weeks. I'm definitely not in that category, but there's a lot of celebrities that get crucified because like the public feels like they haven't done enough. Like they haven't taken care of enough people. They haven't looked out for enough people that are hungry in this world. And it's just a bit crazy because some of these extremely successful people, if they might decide to just help one organization, they would help them with a big lump sum. It's never usually what I can afford or what you might be able to afford. You kind of help people based off your own current circumstances, right? So if I'm going to support, someone, if I'm going to support someone or organization of some sort, I'm going to do it to where I'm comfortable to do it depending on my own budget. And that would depend on my current state. Or I would, if you're not, looking at it as finances, I would be able to support someone based off my own circumstances, based off my own environment. I cannot offer support like as much I would like to say. I'd love to offer say that I'd like to adopt 10 10 kids who need a home, excuse me, who need a home. The honest truth is I don't have the circumstances to do that. I might be thinking it, but I just don't have the circumstances to actually carry that out. So that's why it's very important that you have to put yourself first. And during this personal development, has in my podcast episode of setting boundaries, it's something where you kind of really have to understand that you have to come first, and you have to really know that you can't help everyone, especially when you're not even where you want to be yourself. With with your self care of taking care of yourself and putting yourself first, it's the like honestly, I think in this whole entire life, when a lot of like successful people do speak and say that they had to do all of this for them, you never really hear them say like I had to do this because you know like of course I had to take care of my family, but for them to be able to take care of their family they had to do a lot of sacrifices for themselves first. So in a sense it's just kind of like you just have to really put yourself first. And if we also look at it, not every journey you go on, people can follow you on. And this is like a hard pill that I'm starting to digest, because I am the type that I like to, like, whatever journey I do go on, I like to make sure, I have like a couple of people around me that are also, if, like I said, if I eat, you're gonna eat. I want people to eat with me. And if I'm going on this, personal development journey to grow and elevate and become a better person, I want the people around me to also do the same. But I've just really had to understand that no matter what stage I'm on, it's not the same stages as everybody else. And I cannot risk my own development because of someone else. Because you also have to understand that not everybody is on the same energy level as you. You might be at a stage where you're really starting to see so much progress happening. You're really starting to grow. You're really starting to notice so much about what is going on in terms of your environment, in terms of your circumstances. When things are actually starting to work and be put into place, you're kind of like, okay, like this is really happening. Like, and when you also notice that yourself, like your negative thoughts are going, you're constantly positive, you're constantly cautious of what you hear, you're constantly cautious of what you say, you're cautious of what you think, and you're putting daily practices in place to make sure that you're setting yourself up for a successful day every single day. You have to understand that not every single person is also trying to do the same. There might be some people, even though they might be like your best friends or not, but there might be some people that are working extremely hard as well, but they're still missing one aspect of their day, that they still attract negative thoughts, or they're still missing a certain part of their day where they're failing to take care of themselves physically, so they don't know the gratification, the love that they they don't know the gratification, the love that they have to, they would end up understanding by putting themselves first. Like I said, putting yourself first, mentally, emotionally, physically, financially, putting your situation first. That makes sense. So sometimes not every journey you go on, everybody has to go with you.
This that
You
back
need
in
to
my
take
back flow,
some
we back to
certain
change the
journeys by
climate.
yourself.
This that
And
back in my back
sometimes
flow, we bring the force like Tommy. Back in my back flow. Back in my, yeah, back in my bag, yeah. I'm back in my, yeah, I'm back in my bag, yeah. I'm back in my, this my, back in my bag flow. Back again, yeah, we keep on stacking it, what's happening? Everything been Gucci, got me feeling like I'm dapper then. Life has been a movie, yeah, so shout out to the cameraman. Pull up to the scene, it's going down like an avalanche.